And good morning to you on this Thursday. Today is April the 2nd. I hope you didn't have to endure on yesterday pranksters doing the April Fool's thing. I did. Whatever. I call them April Lies.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you. So, April producing this morning is Reverend Carl Brinkley. Reverend Carl, so Resurrection Sunday, it's going to be a nice Sunday. It looks like it's going to be a low of 62, high of 83. But this is what I find interesting as we move into the week. Man, they're saying Wednesday 43, Thursday 41, a low of 41. That's post Resurrection Day. I mean, you know, have you seen that before? I mean, I've you know, I mean, where am I still in Wyoming 50 years ago? Hit me out, bro.
It's kind of crazy.
That is funny.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy and funny. And the old folks say you better watch it. Watch this season. It's
That's
like
true.
Pneumonia weather.
Well,
so you don't know how to dress. You know?
Well, that's what, well, you know, I'm gonna put clothes on. You know.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you know, when shoe shine shops used to be open, and I come down, I'd be bundled up, and the guys be teasing me and say, "Man, you know, you down here all on cold." I said, "Hold it, brother. When I left home, I was dressing for Troy, not for you. So if you want to run out with nothing on, that's on you." So I see you wearing your Dallas Cowboy stuff today.
Ooh-ah.
Okay, so up front we have Rev
Bishop.
Yeah. Bishop
Mark Rowden.
Mark Rowden.
Yeah.
He has his cowboy stuff all over his truck and all those stuff.
He had his camouflage cowboy hat.
Okay.
He had his cowboy lunchbox.
Right.
He is set. He is ready.
So he's like in grade school, huh? Just little lunchbox cowboys.
It wasn't it's not a tin one. It's, you know.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Anyone that has a cowboy lunchbox that they're pulling around, a grown man.
I know.
I don't have a problem with it, really.
I bet you don't.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Well, okay. Whatever. Look, so we have, and we kind of pulled them in. They were not prepared, but I had a guest that failed to be able to make it this morning, and so my student intern for WIDU was going to come on at a later time, but we decided to pull him in this morning, and he's adequately prepared. He's been watching things. He knows how it goes. He knows balls and strikes. I mean, he knows how to call them. And that is the remarkable Caleb Brown. Give him some love. Yay, boom.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. And also we have his dad, Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown, who is the pastor of Mount Zion African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church in Eastover, North Carolina. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Troy. How are you?
I do well. You know, when I was a kid, I was 12 years old, and I was in the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. I did a Sunday school convention there. My first one, I was 12, and I never forget that. That was a powerful experience for me. Helped shape my life. Do you guys still do Sunday school conventions?
Yeah, we do Sunday school convention. We do it as a district, and then we do it locally. So, of course, you know, Christian education is the heartbeat of the church. That's where you have to educate and undergird people. Like you said, you were taught something there that has stuck with you for life, because that's what Christian education does. And Sunday school convention is a part of Christian education. And
so now, back when I did that, it was a time of segregation. So we couldn't stay at hotels and all those other things. And what they did, they had families that would take the youngsters in. How do you all do it now?
Hotels.
Hotels, yes.
Ain't nobody putting up anybody in.
No, you know. We don't do that. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but you know, Caleb, understand now. That was a great experience. I spent time with the Alfred family, and they lived right there. And that was not. I was in the home also with the presiding elder. Both years I happened to be in the home with them. Really? So it was a number of us in. And then the next year, I was a delegate for my church as well, and I went to Willis Creek. And so there's a judge, a retired judge, Ed Pong.
Yes.
You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me, he said, man, I remember you. You the guy that ran me out my bed.
You know, times have changed, though, and those are great experiences. You know, I've traveled, and so I've had opportunity to stay in people's homes. But today, the mindset, people don't really want people in their homes as much as they used to. I mean, again, out of necessity, we did it, but now we have so many options that we become independent, and we're not as connected as we should be as a community or as a people. And so that is to our detriment, because I think there's so much benefit, you know, being able to spend life with somebody and just really getting to know them.
As a matter of fact, Sheila, who was much younger than I was, she was about, I guess, about 6. It established lifelong relationships. Now I'm talking about when I was 12. You know, that was 1960s, and she's an educator now at Bill Hefner Elementary School.
Okay.
And we still knew each other. You know, I mean, that's going all the way back, and this year I'll be turning 71. If I can make it to August. And so I'm just saying, but I think about it like this right here, though. The world was safer then. I mean, my parents didn't know whom I would be with.
Sure.
They relied upon the leadership of the church to say, hey, look, this is where this kid is going to be at.
Right,
And
right.
they trusted that, and I was safe and protected in that environment. You know, although people say that it was worse then, but in a way it was better because kids were safe to be with an adult person.
Right.
And, you know, the nurturing, loving church environment, those kinds of things, you know, I believe I was safer in someone's home than I would be in some paid hotel or whatever.
And the nature of the Amy Zion Church is of such that we're called a connectional church, which means, you know, every church is connected to each other. And so there's a brotherhood and sisterhood in the Amy Zion Church that wherever you go, you are welcomed as a part of not only the family in the building, but with the family in the community. So I think that has its positive places. But again, today, with all the options people have, you know, people don't want to be bothered, so to speak, or they want their independence. They want to be able to come and go when they want to go. If you're in somebody's home, you know, you gotta have to live by their guidelines, so to speak. So I think there are pros and cons, but for me, give me the hotel.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, Rev, you know, it's like Reverend Carl, you know, you, when you're in the home with the presiding elder, you're doing a lot of praying.
I'd imagine so.
And that was, you know, really, but, you know, it was okay. It wasn't, you know, we weren't there watching TV or nothing like that. You know, it was a lot of prayer and scripture going on. Of course, I needed that. I was one of the kids, I needed that. So it was all right. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, bleeding to your son. Your son, he has a dad who's a pastor, affectionately called PK, pastor's kids. What about that, you know, and the impact, the influence, not only on your son Caleb, who's our intern, but just that overall picture of young people now being raised in a home where their parents are ministering, and the impact of that on them and the dynamic it has on them in other kids from your perspective as a parent.
Well, that can be challenging in many ways if it's not done right. Okay, as a PK, as you say, sometimes if we don't have a proper balance, it can hurt the child as well as help the child. Now, if it's done well, the child will grow up with a balance, knowing right, but also having options to do other things. Now with Caleb, he has, I love to take credit for some of the things that he does, but since Caleb has been a child, he's just had a heart for God. And, his thing is gospel music. We have tried everything to break him, if you will, from just listening to gospel music 24/7. But that's his heart. He loves going to church. He loves doing the things of God. And again, maybe just by him being with us and being in the environment that has influenced him. But a lot of it, I think, it's just, he's just, again, been to church all his life, because that's all he knows. And now that he's older and we're trying to get him to do some other things, he still kind of focuses on that. So if done well, the child will grow up into a godly person and then be able, like you said, to influence others. And he has that heart to always share with his fellow students. He's always trying to invite them to church, or they see him, they hear him listening to certain music, and that starts a conversation. So, I think we've done a good job. But again, a lot of it, Caleb, his personality and who he is and who God has made him to be, I think has helped in the fact that he has a heart for God and the things of God.
Sure. Good morning, Caleb. And,
Good morning.
Yeah, glad to have you back. All the dates you come in, you're very enthusiastic about our plan for you to complete this internship.
Yes.
You at my alma mater, Fayetteville State University, Bronco Pride.
Yes.
That's right. So, listen to your dad talk and having the opportunity to meet you, and your love for the church, particularly your love for gospel music.
Yes.
That's really your love. You want to be a producer, don't you?
Yes.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. All right. What about that? I find that very interesting.
Well, because I love gospel music so much, like my dad was saying, I'm a church baby. So,
okay.
Like he said, church is all I know. So when I get up in the morning, that's the first thing I do. I get my phone and I try and find at least a sermon or a song. Even just this morning, I was listening to Daddy Peoples was on my phone this morning, and I was listening to her music. And I find it very interesting. I've watched a lot of the artists and how they work and how they produce their music, and watching them go behind the studio and behind the scenes when they're producing different things. And I was always drawn to that, and I wanted to learn how to do that. And so that's why I find it very interesting, and I wanted to try and at least get to learn and know how to do that. So when the internship was presented, I said, okay, I'll try and see if I can find a way where I can learn the things and how it's supposed to be done and learn it the right way. Because there's a certain way you're supposed to do it. And I didn't want to do it the wrong way and then mess it up. So
Sure. Well, look, we're glad to have you here. Of course, I'm more of the behind the mic guy, and you got help with Reverend Dr. Carl Brinkley and Reverend Paul.
Shout
Matthews.
out to them, because I know they do a whole lot of work.
Yeah, they're not on in front of the camera the way I am, but they're the guys back there pushing the buttons and hitting all of that technical stuff, which, I be honest with you, I know very little about. He just counts me down.
Right.
Troy, you're on. So,
Right.
But I want to learn more about that, because going back when I started in radio, it was less complicated, I say. You probably don't remember something that they used to call an 8-track tape. You don't remember that, but I know you remember that. The cartridges. All the commercials was on those big cartridges, and when I started in this, man, you be talking and you come in with all your commercials stacked up, and you be playing them at a time. Now is
Push a button.
push a button. I mean, or either if you're not here, you know, you walk out the room, you leave the building, a computer is running everything, you know?
Right.
So, but that's the world that you live in because you understand all of that. So, now, you were a student at Fayetteville Technical Community College School, correct?
Yes, I was.
So was I. Okay, so you... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 2 degree over there. And then I went to Fayetteville State, same way you are.
Yes.
Right, you know.
Yes.
And so, when you were over there, what was your major?
My major was the arts, Associate of Arts degree.
Okay, all right.
So I was getting my associates.
Okay. And which curriculum were you in?
Yeah. When you say curriculum,
And what were you doing over there?
oh, I was getting my Associate of Arts degree. That's basically what
Okay,
I
just
was
take a
doing.
general last course.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
General
okay.
courses. Yes.
Okay, all right. That sounds good. Okay, and now your major at Fayetteville State is going to be what now?
Communication and Media Studies.
Okay, communication media studies. Well, you know, look, I hope to see you one day to flip on the TV, and if I don't see you, because I read the credits. You know what I mean? You know, I read the credits. You know, and some people, they go to movies and everything, and as
after
soon
the
as the
movies
last
up,
scene, they get up.
they get up and
okay.
leave.
I get
Yes.
some kind of weird. I sit right there, and I read all of the credits, because you know what? One day, your name may be there, your kid's name, your cousin, your neighbor, whatever else it is. I mean, it's there for a reason, you know? And I might be sitting one day and I say, Caleb Brown, I know him. Yes! Because, you know, you want them to be reading the credits, man. I mean, you know.
Well, I hope to get there.
That's right.
I hope
That's
to
right.
get there one day, and that's why, like I said, when the internship was presented,
Right.
I wanted to learn, because when you, like you just said, when you look at movies and TV shows, and the credits are being shown, you see people's names
That's it.
of those that produced the show
Exactly.
or those that worked it, and so. You know, you hope and you pray that when you get into this business and you start, that hopefully one day your name will be able to be there. So yes,
Right.
I understand. Yes,
And that's why when I come in, you know, if I don't in the beginning, I'm typically going to mention the name of our producers every day, because I want to remind people that there's somebody else behind this the
right.
scenes that's
Right,
not on
right.
camera that's doing their job. Right. So, but I mean, that's awesome, man. So, what made you decide to go to Fayetteville State University?
Well, because I was a transfer student from
Right.
Fayetteville Tech, so when I heard that they had media and communication program, I said, okay, this will be good, and because I wanted to go to a HBCU, get the black college experience.
Oh man, I just love this young man. I mean,
So,
it's
yeah, that's why.
he's so smart.
That's why.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
these are some talking about-
because the school when I was at Fayetteville Tech, it was a diverse
It is.
school,
Right.
And even though I enjoyed it,
All right.
my mother works at a HBCU.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And even though there are a diverse group of people there at the school, it's a black campus.
Yes.
So, and it's also an Amy Zion school. So
Right.
that's another reason why, even though, Fayetteville State is not a Amy Zion school, like I said.
Like Livingstone, right?
Yes.
She
yes.
with Livingstone. Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
My dad got his doctorate from Hood Theological Seminary.
From which now?
Hood Theological Seminary.
Oh, to about Hood. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, he got it the right way. He's got a real one.
Yes.
I'm not down. Look, all y'all honorary doctors, do not stand by my vehicle when I'm leaving today, okay? I'm not saying anything negative about you. I just said Doc got an earned.
Earned.
Okay. So do not
Earned
beat me
doctorate.
up, okay?
That's right.
Because they said, Troy, what do you have? Nothing. Troy has nothing. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Well, that's good, But what about that, because you have a dad that has a degree, as a matter of fact, an advanced degree. Do you think that's an advantage for you being in college?
I don't really know how to answer that question because
Because see, look, some of your colleagues in school, your peers, they have parents that have not had a college experience, and you have parents that, they can help you navigate through your college years because that was a part of their years. That's the question. I'm asking like that.
Yeah. I think him having, that, it kind of helps me to know that if he can do it,
right,
so can I.
Right.
So now that tells me that I have no excuse, and I have to commend him because he has really pushed me to do things that I know that I can do, even when I don't feel like doing it.
Right.
He will tell me, Caleb, okay, you need to stay the course. If I know I have, assignments coming, he will tell me, okay, what do you have that's due today, or what's coming up that you need to do for your classes, and not even just with school, but in life in general. He's always telling me, always think about what you're doing. Did you really think about what you were supposed to be doing? Are you really using your head and listening and hearing and thinking? And that's one of the things I'm learning how to do more. For instance, when I was at Tech, the first couple of semesters I was there, I had to retake a biology course because I didn't do well in it because I was using the internet to answer all the questions. I wasn't reading. I wasn't turning in my work on time, and I ended up failing. And so for the third time I took it, I said, okay, I'm going to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do, which is read the book, make sure I turn in my assignments on time, and do what I was supposed to do, which meant also going to tutoring and getting help. And so by that, I was able to pass the course for the third time, and then I graduated. So I'm really thankful because, like I said, if he can do it and push through and be up all hours of the night doing assignments, so can I. So I have no excuse.
That's awesome, man. Look, but your story is like mine. I'll be honest. I struggled in the math area, and I was doing other stuff. I was working and trying to go to school. And matter of fact, at one point, I was on academic probation, and I know what it feels like.
I've been there too.
I've
been there too.
I was, but you know what? I was turned around, graduated with both schools with about a 3.5. And so, you don't quit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
yes.
that's the way it works. But your dad sounds like the kind of dad that I was to my daughter. And y'all need to talk to each other because y'all can probably compare notes. Anyway, but that's kind of push I had with her. Well, look, we're going to go to a break, come right back. Subject this morning is success. And we have a great advocate for HBCUs here. And that is Mr. Caleb Brown. I'm going to call somebody up and say, look, this is the guy. We need to have him on the poster, okay? And his dad, Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown. We'll be back for more following this.
Four astronauts embarked on a high-stakes flight around the moon on Wednesday. One of them is mission specialist Christina Cook, an NC State University alum. President Trump said last night during a nationwide speech that the Strait of Hormuz will reopen naturally once the conflict in Iran is over. The average price of a gallon of gasoline nationwide is now sitting at $4 a gallon. It's the most expensive price drivers have seen in 4 years, and it's soaring as the war in Iran continues. At the Supreme Court Wednesday, the 9 justices heard arguments in one of the most consequential cases of the Trump era about birthright issues. Law enforcement agencies across North Carolina have increased patrols and set up checkpoints this week as part of a Speed a Little, Lose a Lot campaign aimed at cracking down on speeding drivers. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. Monday, March 30th, the Forest County Sheriff's Office arrested 18-year-old Joshua Yarish on charges of child exploitation. The investigation began after family members of the minor reported the situation to authorities. Deputies initiated an investigation that resulted in Yarish's arrest. The Fayetteville Fire Department and Police Department are doing a joint investigation into a structure fire that resulted in the loss of life yesterday. It was about 2:30 p.m. Members of the Fire Department, Police Department, and EMS went out to the 1700 block of Empress Lane for a reported structure fire. Upon arrival, first responders observed fire coming from the residence and began fire suppression. An adult male exited the residence from a window without injury. Fire Department personnel went into the residence and located a female who had sustained injuries from the fire. EMS personnel took the female to a local hospital where she died from her injuries. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
The warm weather trend continues clear into the holiday weekend. We'll be back in the low to mid 80s later this afternoon. Should be dry with partly cloudy skies. Now, it's all about a ridge of high pressure that's keeping us warmer than normal. Over the weekend, that ridge breaks down and allows a cold front to move in, and it looks like Easter Sunday will have rain. Tonight, mostly clear with the low in the low 60s. We'll have morning cloud cover tomorrow. Later in the afternoon, it's partly cloudy with the highs again in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Mike Mays in the NCN Weather Center.
If you have been injured in a motor vehicle collision, you should understand that the insurance company is not on your side. It is the adjuster's job to get by with paying you as little as possible. Call personal injury trial lawyer Brent Adams now for a free no-obligation consultation. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hoke, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elder Betty Anthony. I attend Kingdom Impact Global Ministries, where our apostle is William T. Ford. I am here to introduce our powerful Easter production called The Crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Come and witness the story that changed everything. The date is April 5th, 2026. Our doors will open at 6 o'clock and the program will start at 7. Here, we have Pontius Pilate, played by Pastor Travis Stroud.
Hello, everyone. A man was brought before me in whom I found no fault. But pressure was on me from the Jewish leaders, and I washed my hands from the blood of this innocent man. You all come out and see the rest of the show.
Again, come out on April the 5th. Doors open at 6 and the production start at 7 o'clock. Come and witness the story that changed everything. You don't want to miss it.
Are you ready to make a difference? Become Mental Health First Aid Certified with the Governor's Institute. This free one-day training will give you the skills to recognize, understand, and respond to mental health and substance use challenges. Whether you're a friend, coworker, or caregiver, you can be the support someone needs. The training is available in person or online and is open to everyone. No experience required. Take the first step today. Visit milvetacademy.org to learn more.
And we got 38 minutes after the hour here. And we have behind the mics today, and that's Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown and his son, Caleb, who is our intern for this semester. And we were talking during the break, and I was telling Caleb, that I struggled some in the community college system, but what helped me out a lot was just improving my reading speed, But I say this, though. If you see some documents now, right, if you're reading something online, sometimes they will give you what they believe is, they say this is a 5-minute read or a 3-minute read. Doc, you seen that.
What, they give you the Cliff Note version?
No. They're just telling you how long they think that it should take you to read that.
Right.
Prior to reading, they'll say, if you read this is about a 5-minute read or a 3-minute read or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
You see that, but again, how do they determine the level of a person's ability
to read it?
So I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know what the standard is that they said. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I guess they assume that every person has a nominal reading ability, so that they would be able to read something. But again, the challenge is not just reading; it's comprehending.
Oh yes, right. You want to be able. Like I said, when I was reading maximum, still is about 80% comprehension. But I would say that as a writer, and now the columns I write now are normally around 500 words. And at one time when I first started, and I was writing for the Federal Observer, I was doing 800 to 1,000 words. And people tell me, well, I didn't have time to really read. I'm like, wait a minute, now, you should be able to knock this out pretty quickly. Sure. Especially now, 500 words, for me, and just the way I see it, I think you ought to be able to just blitz through that. I mean, 500 words, I'm thinking that shouldn't take you no more than 2-3 minutes to read 500 words.
Now for you, you said you're a speed reader, so
right.
For you it would take 2. Now for normal people, it don't take more than 2
right.
to read 500 words.
Okay. 500 words should take how long do you think the average person?
I don't know. You're
not studying it. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm reading scripture, that's different. I'm reading it every word because. My Bible study is like this. I believe every word matters.
Absolutely.
So I'm not reading in blocks like I would, a column or something like they're trying to get information. So, of course, I'm slowing down when I'm reading every word in Scripture. But I'm just reading a magazine, a newspaper, or something like that.
Sure, yeah. So, again, so it depends then on the material you're reading and why you're reading.
That's true.
Okay, if you're just reading a magazine or the newspaper, you can fly through it.
Right.
But now if you're reading, like you said, the Bible, or if you have a project that you have to give a report on.
Technical stuff.
Yeah, technical stuff is going to be slower because you're reading for comprehension.
Yeah.
And you need to retain and the ability to then transcribe that into whatever media that you need to put it in. So it depends on the kind of material you're reading, how fast you would read.
Because now I don't know, but so when my daughter was in school, they had this guy that came and he was training them about taking the SAT. Did you have to take the SAT when you started to?
Yes,
you did.
I sure did. I did the SAT. I did. Oh my goodness.
The ACT?
ACT.
Okay.
All of those things, yes.
So now this is what the guy said. Now, and then this guy right here, I forget his name now, but he was kind of like an expert. He was helping these college athletes, particularly basketball players, to get up their SAT score so they could get admitted to a university. But he said, and that at that time you had paper, I'm dating myself back a little bit, 10, 15 years. But he said, you want your kid reading a Newsweek or something like that along with the other stuff. You know what I mean? Because there's a reading part to the SAT, the reading and comprehension part.
Sure.
Right. And that's, I think that's an important piece because right now, globally, youngsters in America are behind when it comes to reading.
Absolutely.
So now, if somebody, and as a minister, I've even experienced this. if you hate reading, how am I going to deal with you as a church member and trying to, get some word in you?
Well, again,
if I'm talking about the people that have it, they just dislike reading altogether.
right,
I mean,
right. Again, there's so many other ways now that you can share the word, not just through reading.
Okay.
Social media, you can do it creatively, even through music, through films, through. I know I'm a visual learner, so for me, if I see something and hear something and is able to read something together, it helps me with understanding. So for a person who is not a reader, you have to then challenge them. You have to then, I was going to say slides, but that's kind of more, but if you can have, prompts on, these, in every church now, you see they have these big screens, right? And so what the screen does, it enables you to put visuals that will help guide people through your thoughts. And so even though they may not be reading, what they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words sometimes. So sometimes if you can use pictures or clips, movie clips or art clippings, that triggers learning, hopefully, in some people. So for people who are not learning, you have, again, that's one of the challenge now as a pastor. You have to become creative in how you communicate the word. The word hasn't changed. The word is the same, but how you communicate it to each generation is going to be a little bit different.
Sure, that makes sense. Do you like to read?
No, I do not, to be honest.
Okay. I hate to put you on the spot like that.
I really don't. And my dad has really gotten on me about reading.
See, listen to Dad.
So, but no, I'm not a person that can just sit down and read.
And that's that generation. This thing right here is the thing that has caused them not to want to read, because they're in this thing day and night. And so it's important, and that's one of the challenge. Try to bribe him, hey, read this book, you'll get X, Y, Z. So it's a challenge for young people to read, but reading is essential, because that's how you gather information. I don't care how much you watch social media.
That's true.
Reading, there's some things you can only grasp by reading.
Now, my daughter is an incredible reader, along with her mom, because they be reading like Gone with the Wind. You ever seen how thick that is? Gone with the Wind. It's about like that, man, really. Now, but I've read some pretty long novels, Alex Haley's Roots in '76. I read it. Matter of fact, I still have a hardback now in my library. I have some pretty thick books reading. And but I remember when she was little, what we did, and I was driving her to school every day, and she was in a private academy, K-12. But look, what we would do, we would read the billboards. We read it, and then stop, and we come past the billboard, and we read the billboard. And then the next level, I was getting a hard copy of the paper. I would give her the newspaper. She's sitting in the back, and she would read the newspaper to me every morning. And she also learned how to navigate through the paper. So that, and now, she's in medicine, a doctor, an oncologist. She still reads. I mean, her last gift to me was a book about that thick, and but still, she still reads now. That some people say readers are leaders. I don't know. That's the kind of the moniker.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. I just think that reading still is very important, Caleb. Now,
yes,
I embrace reading like this. Read anything. Do they still have comic books? You don't know what a comic book is, do you?
No, because
he doesn't know what a comic book is. right down the street, which that building is gone now, there was a place in town, probably one in favor now, where you can buy a comic book. You know what I mean? And so I grew up reading comic books. I mean, you know, Batman, Spider-Man, all that, before it became a TV show or a cartoon, Caleb, it was a comic book.
Right.
Superman and all that. And so I just believe it's good to have young people reading something.
Anything, right.
No matter what it is.
And research says that reading, any material, if you go back in our history, that's how many people learn how to read, is like through reading the Bible.
Right.
Right. And so it doesn't matter what you read. If it's a sports if you're into sports, read a sports magazine, because then again, it helps you to see how words are connected, how you structure a sentence. And so you might not realize that's what you're doing by reading a sports magazine, but if you read it enough, you'll start seeing patterns, and
exactly.
it will reinforce learning. And so you're right. It doesn't matter what you read. Just read something, and that will help you process information. And so that's important.
And you tell people too now, so now, if you're going to be a writer, you have to read. I mean, I don't care how old you are or how long you've been in it. If you don't read, you can't write. It just, that's just the way things are.
Absolutely.
And but that's pretty exciting though, you know, with everything that we have now. So I was reading when I met you over to the Chestnut Library that day,
right.
And I was looking through your material, and there was a restriction with how much AI you guys could use as students.
Yes.
And you know, I didn't, you know, I had never thought about that. But then when I was reading Caleb's, what's they call that thing?
Syllabus.
Yeah, syllabus. Okay.
Yes.
And I was reading his syllabus, I saw that jumped out at me. And I said, well, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering though, how do you navigate in the college world, Caleb, separating AI generated stuff versus your own thoughts?
Well, AI now is right at our fingertips. We were actually talking about that in my class yesterday, how my teacher, because I'm taking a communications class, and he was asking us, is AI going? How is AI going to reshape our life right now? If we take away teachers and now put AI, you know, now we can, now there are students now who will get a paper from their teacher. Their teacher will ask them to write a paper, and they'll immediately go on AI and say, write a paper about such and such and such. They get the paper from AI, turn it into the teacher, and they end up getting a bad grade because they didn't use their own words. It was just all AI generated. So it's hard to do that because, yeah, and I've been guilty because, like I was saying to you before, the first semester when I was at Fayetteville Tech, I used AI to help answer questions for testing for homework. And I ended up getting in trouble for that because I didn't use my own head, and I didn't read, and I didn't think. And so we now have to learn, and I don't use AI to do anything now. What I do, if I get an assignment, I may have to look up something, but I make sure that I put it in my own words, because there is a thing called plagiarism.
No doubt about that.
And you don't, you know, and I have a mother who who teaches English.
Okay.
And anything that I turn in, if she will literally sit there and look at my paper and say to me, Caleb, did you make sure that you put this in your own words, or did you go online and look up whatever you needed to look up? And so now what I'm learning to do is make sure that whatever assignment that I get, whether it's online or a reading assignment, I make sure that I use my own words, and then if I copy something from somewhere, that I give that person credit to whatever they wrote.
Right. Well, let's see now. Look, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the preachers again. So don't stand by my vehicle when I'm leaving. Okay. I can sort of kind of tell if you've had help with your sermon. If I know, if I'm talking to you on a regular basis, and your vernacular, your words are a certain way, and now you're in the pulpit, and you're using words that I never heard you use in common conversation. That's kind of sort of what Caleb is talking about.
Sure.
And I see that. And I wonder do people know that, they're up there, you're using words in their sermon that typically that's not the way they talk.
Right.
So you had to get some help with that from somewhere,
Sure. Sure.
And I think you just ought to just kind of like stay in your lane, Doc. I mean,
Yeah, and people can tell that.
Yeah, man, right.
People can tell when it's not your sermon per se, and there's nothing wrong with getting ideas from somebody else's sermon, but when you start using words you don't understand yourself,
exactly.
People can tell that, and it's important whether it's in college or in ministry or just in life in general. Being authentic is important, and so learning how to use your own words, as Caleb said, and learning how to do research, and then in ministry, it's really not about how smart you are. Paul says it's by the foolishness of the gospel that people are saved. So we in ministry, it's not how smart and how clever. Nowadays, again, we live in a clickbait society. So,
okay.
And people are trying to go viral, and so they're trying to say cute words and say things in a way that people are going to say, "Wow."
Exactly, I know, yeah.
But again, that's not the essence of preaching. Preaching is for transformation,
right?
Not just for people to get excited. As people say, it doesn't matter how high you jump in church on Sunday. It matters how straight you walk on Monday through Saturday. So
that'll preach.
So it's not just excitement, but again. But now the church is kind of trying to pulling from social media, and so we're kind of drifting from. But the gospel will preach and do its work if we allow it to do its work, and so we just need to be careful in that regard also.
And I've seen a lot of churches where basically mostly they use AI to do everything, not necessarily everything for them, but I've seen some churches where they make AI people to do announcements and things like that, and it's like you look and you're like, now what on earth did these people just do? Why can't they just use one of the members, to do something as simple as that? But it's like my dad said, the word is the word, and you can't get away from that. So like he was saying, learn to be you. I don't when people come up to me and ask me, how are you so happy all the time and you're always doing, I see you travel everywhere, you're always meeting people, and that's because I don't know how to be nobody else but me. And I have to learn, I have to be authentically me. Yes, I may have an issue in my body, but that's not going to stop me from being me. That's not going to stop me from being a joyful person and always finding a way to get a good thing out of a bad situation. So I don't let anything stop me from being authentically me. And if you see, I was talking to a friend yesterday that I met, and he was asking me, he said, we were talking about the word, and I was saying, there's so much good in the word that a lot of people don't understand. And I was saying, and that's why I was saying to him, I said, that's why going to church is so important, because you gain community, you gain relationships, you gain understanding. And it's not just about, like my dad was saying, it's not just about coming to church, shouting and dancing and doing all of that, and then you walk out of the church and then your life is something completely different. If you're gonna be saved for real. Don't just say you're saved one day and then the next day you're cussing people out, wanting to fight folk because of something that they did to you 20, 30 years ago that has nothing to do with you. But, you learn how to be you and not let anything stop you from being you.
Reverend Carl. It's deep, man. That's just, man, yes, wow.
For a young man.
I mean, you got to be proud of him, brother. I mean, I'm just saying, I haven't heard people articulate that. They came out of the hood, sir. I haven't. I mean, he's right. He's so right.
Right.
I tell everybody up, but look, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Mary
Hales.
Yeah, Hales. She's the reason why I met you guys. And remember when her brother passed, I met you there. I forget how long that's been now, but that's when I first met you.
Right.
And didn't realize that our paths would intersect again. But it certainly has been a pleasure, and I don't know what's going to happen after this internship ends, but I'm never going to forget this young man. For real, I'm not. You just keep on doing, brother, and saying what you're saying, read so you can write. I want you to put this stuff in a book, okay?
Yes.
Our time is up. We got to get out of here. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown, and Caleb is going to be with us for until the beginning of May. So he'll be with us for another month.
Yes.
And
yes.
He's going to be working on a project, so we're going to bring him back, and he's going to be talking about his project with us.
Remember, Sunday's Resurrection Sunday.
That's right.
Find a place you can worship. If you don't have a place to worship, come to Mount Zion, Amen Zion Church in Eastover.
Yes.
Okay. Look, love you guys. Take care. Thank you so much.